I wanted to make this video specifically for Donald Trump supporters who care about ending radical Islamic terrorism. And I think this video could also provide some context to the people who are protesting Donald Trump right now. But please, whatever you do, watch all the facts presented to you in this video before leaving a comment and debate me on this important topic. Now, as we know, we are finding out the U.S. commando died recently in Yemen over counterterrorism raids that took place in that country. Now, military officials have been planning this raid and debating it for months under Barack Obama's administration, but Barack Obama decided to leave this choice up to Trump to personally authorize or not. And Donald Trump did personally authorize this counterterrorism operation himself, continuing the failed foreign policy initiatives by Barack Obama. In the American mainstream media, we heard a lot about this U.S. serviceman that was killed, but we never heard about any civilian casualties. We never heard about any collateral damage. And the military has been very quiet about this, but we're getting reports that 10 women and children were killed in this counterterrorism operation. One of them, an 8-year-old girl, the daughter of Anwar al-Awlaki. This is a sad and tragic death, which led this 8-year-old girl to be shot in the neck and bleed out until she died for over 2 hours. It's important for context to know that Anwar al-Awlaki's son was also assassinated and murdered, but by Barack Obama, and he was a 16-year-old normal American citizen from Colorado that Barack Obama and his drone program assassinated without the due process of law. And the only initial comments that we got from the Obama administration was when this very news organization had to hound down his spokesperson, Robert Gibbs. And the thing he said was, well, this 16-year-old American citizen from Colorado just should have had a better father before we decided we're going to kill him outside of the law. Now, it's not only grief that I'm feeling for and pain that I'm feeling for this 8-year-old girl and these innocent children that are caught up in this global war on terrorism. It's also the U.S. soldier that doesn't get to come back to his family. That a life of one of our own, one of our bravest, has been ended prematurely. And I have to ask the question, for what? Because let's look at Yemen. Why are we in Yemen? Can you give me an answer on that? I could walk on the street right now, and I bet no American citizen, maybe some, very few would actually even understand what's happening in Yemen. Yemen was caught up in a civil war since 2015. I'm going to oversimplify this, but there was two major factions, a pro-government side that was pro-Saudi Arabia and an anti-government side that was anti-Saudi Arabia. When the anti-government side started winning, Saudi Arabia got the United States involved, and the United States started bombing the crap out of Yemen. Now, the raid that was conducted in Yemen was conducted on a group that was not focused on global jihad. They were focused on killing Houthis and Shiites, which major factions of do call for global jihad, and the United States does see as an enemy. So why is the United States involved in this dumb conflict that Saudi Arabia got us involved in? Why did Barack Obama frickin' start a bombing campaign inside of Yemen with horrible incidences? And this is just one where 35 women and children were killed by a U.S. cluster bomb. And again, we have seen the United States, the United Kingdom, continue to actively participate in Saudi Arabian war crimes, targeting Yemeni civilians, targeting impoverished Yemeni farms and agriculture industry, leaving a huge humanitarian crisis that is leaving millions at the risk of starvation. And after examining all this, I have to ask, all you people out there who are protesting Donald Trump at the airports right now, where the fuck were you when frickin' Barack Obama, where the fuck were you when Barack Obama, with his dumb geopolitical freaking goals, backing Saudi Arabia, was bombing, sending drones, sending cluster bombs, butchering, murdering innocent women and civilians, causing millions of people to starve inside of Yemen? Where the fuck were you protesting him when he made that horrible decision? Where the fuck were you when Barack Obama was creating a disastrous human rights violating situation for dumb geopolitical goals, bombing, sending in drones, sending in cluster bombs, leaving millions of people to starve creating immense human suffering to Yemen. Where the fuck were you with your protest signs at the White House? Because I didn't see anybody. We were calling it out here on this independent news channel, but you, the people, decided to neglect that a very important fact. And if you compare the two, not allowing some Yemeni civilians to come into the United States versus what Barack Obama did, there's really no comparison. And this brings me to my bigger point, because if we look at Iraq, if we look at Libya, if we look at Syria, there was no major factions of Al Qaeda, of ISIS, of radical Islamic terrorists until the United States decided to bomb and overthrow their leaders and make attempts to destabilize their government. And only because of those decisions were people radicalized after there was massive collateral damage, after there was massive corruption, after millions of dollars were shipped out in arms and shipments, and people inside of the Middle East decided to turn to radical Islamic factions. Of course, there's no justifying this in any way, shape, or form, but we have to understand this is a major factor to why people are pissed off and they're turning to radical Islamic terrorism. And if you truly wanted to stop, and if Donald Trump really wanted to end global radical Islamic terrorism, he would put George W. Bush, Barack Obama in jail for war crimes and not continue their failed foreign policy initiatives that are creating more terrorism. If we look at American foreign policy, there's a fire, radical Islamic terrorism. Their answer, pour more gas on it. And that's exactly what we have seen exemplified through world events through the past 16 freaking years. Debate me if I'm wrong on this. I know people are going to be in the comment section, but give him a try. It was just a mistake. No. This was a dumbass move that deserves to be called out, and he deserves to have no freaking support from the disastrous foreign policy that is creating more Islamic freaking terrorism against the people who are not even calling for global jihad. It's so freaking simple. Am I wrong? Debate me in this. And if this video resonated with you, please share it, because I believe this message needs to get out to everyone to fully understand the problems that we are facing. Now, we are here doing this, not shilling for Donald Trump like all these other supposed alternative media organizations that have simply just started to distort facts, started to manipulate information in order to push him and their faction and their tribal freaking gang side. We're not here to do that, because the truth matters more than anything else. It matters more than partisanship, matters more than just your side, your gang color, your freaking Republican or Democrat or alt-right freaking label. Your labels don't matter. What matters is the truth, because once you have that, you could actually start solving the problems that we have in this world. And if you want more of this information, you have to vote with your dollar and support us on wearechange.org/donate. We're not left, we're not right, we're not Republican, we're not supported by any state, we're not supported by any corporation. We're supported and beholden to you, because you finance our operations independently through wearechange.org. Vote with your dollar, support us if you like the message that we're getting out there. And we've been speaking this message for 16 years. We've been called all sorts of freaking things on the political spectrum, but ultimately what we try to be is beholden to you, and most importantly, beholden to the freaking truth. Thank you again so much for watching. Subscribe, stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more coming here your way on youtube.com/we are change.